And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get set for our lead-up race to determine who's going to be the first NNSCRA Almond Joy Series champion. We are here at Talladega Superspeedway for chase race number 9, and this is definitely going to be, if you will, the intro into our championship battle next week. Talladega is a wild card track. It's a super speedway, which means it's very easy to move from the back to the front, but just as easy to slip from the front all the way to the back. Now, theoretically, coming into this race, we have 9 drivers still mathematically eligible for the championship, but the top 3 are the ones we'll be focusing on today because the top 3 in points come into this race separated by a meager 4 points. Brooke Allen is the current points leader by 1 point over Matthew Daleo and 4 points over Benny Watson. Who would have thought, with it not being elimination rounds, just the best finishes out of 10 races, that we would have 4 points separating the top 3 heading into our next to last race of the season. Other drivers that are still mathematically eligible, but they really need something to go well here today, include John Andrews, K Jazzin, Nick Johnson, Jordan Lopes, who's the defending winner at this very track, Zachariah Hall, and Mitchell Carter. One thing we also got to keep an eye on is if those top 3 we talked about, Allen, Daleo, and Watson, if they're going to have bad days today, that could put more drivers into the forefront for Auto Club as well. Let's go down and get command.
Drivers, start your engines.
And if you want to take a look and see who's going to be starting where in your starting lineup, check it down in the description below. However, I will highlight where those 3 drivers I mentioned, Allen, Watson, and Daleo, are going to be starting this race. The highest starting of those 3 is Benny Watson. He's starting off in the 29th position. Matthew Daleo going to be starting right alongside of him in 30th. And in the next row behind them in 32nd is Brooke Allen. So all 3 of those drivers not having the best of starting positions here today. We'll have to see if that becomes a factor in today's race. Talladega, any restricted plate track we go to, but Talladega, most of all, the dreaded big one, looms around every corner. And this is a Talladega Superspeedway that it can hold them 4 wide. It'll definitely hold them 3 wide, no problem. It can hold them 4 wide in certain portions. The biggest area, though, where a lot of drivers like to take a 4 wide situation is down this back straightaway and into the entrance of turn number 3. A lot of room on the back straightaway to make those 4 wide moves, but then it seems to kind of be if your car tightens up, if your car's loose, everyone seems to accordion up and squeeze each other going into this corner, and that's usually where a lot of our wrecks are triggered at this particular version of this Talladega racetrack. So we'll have to see if that comes into play. We'll have to see the early strategy as well for Allen, Daleo, and Watson. Do you try charging to the front early, try and get yourself ahead of something that might happen, or do you fall to the back, ride around for a while, wait for that big wreck to happen, drive through it, and then start racing afterwards? There's only 19 laps of racing here today. It's not a super whole lot of time, so they're going to have to make their strategy work and make it work quick. As Cody Smart still looking for his first win of the season, alongside of Mitchell Carter, who's looking for his second win of the season. They will lead us down here. 40 cars, all were able to get going. They will all take the green flag as we are underway here at Talladega. Inside lines, the preferred line definitely here at this particular racetrack, as long as you have drafting partners, and Cody Smart using that to his benefit. He will go to the lead. Sorry for the frame drop there. I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that. Might be because my computer's been running for a while, so maybe the frames aren't at their best. Hopefully it'll settle itself out. We'll have to see. Maybe if these drivers start getting into a bit of a long run, frames will start picking up. As Mitchell Carter very quickly moving by Cody Smart, and it doesn't look like Smart's going to be leading the first lap of this race. Instead, it looks like it's going to be Mitchell Carter in the 52. Nick Guenther will follow in second, Colin Denton there in third, and right behind him in the 4th position as Carter leads the first lap. In that 4th position is the 44 Zachary Toyota of John Andrews. Now, Andrews comes into this race 4th in the standings. The reason why we were basically focusing on the top 3 coming into this race is because John Andrews is 25 points back. Now, in theory, in order to still be eligible for the championship next week, it's going to depend on what drivers are within 40 points of the points leader. They would still mathematically be eligible for a championship, but they'd be technically the long shot drivers. Right now, John Andrews had a good qualifying position, and he's running up here at the front, just took the second position from Colin Denton. If he can keep his car up here at the front and have Daleo, Allen, and Watson have bad days, he might be able to get something done here as far as closing up the gap and still being in championship contention by the time we reach Auto Club. But the bad news for him, I just noticed a car that's already worked his way up through the field somewhat. That is Matthew Daleo in the 78. There he is on that inside line. He has fought his way all the way up from a 30th starting position. And the last time by, Daleo was scored in the 15th position, so he has picked up spots really quickly. I'm also seeing Benny Watson not too far behind as well, so both the 78 and the 89 both picking their way through the field early, so it looks like they're trying to get to the front as quickly as possible strategy. On the flip side, it looks like Brooke Allen is actually hanging towards the back. You gotta go a long ways back here. There she is in a lot of traffic. That Reynolds Wrap Chevrolet came in as the points leader. Looks like she's kind of riding around at the back for the moment, trying to wait and see what's going to develop up here, especially in the mid-pack portion of this group of race cars. Richard Johnson out in front in the 93 car. Richard's looking for his second win of the season. Look at Matthew Daleo now going to go for the second position there on Mitchell Carter. Daleo trying to fight his way to the front. There's our winner from this track. The first time we were here this season, Jordan Lopez just now getting bypassed for the fourth position by Zachariah Hall and Joseph Romero, but Jordan Lopez has worked his way up here. Can he double down and sweep the races here at Talladega here in the Almond Joy Series? Johnson there, that 93 car as stated, looking for his second win of the season. His first one this year coming at the road course of Lime Rock when he was able to hold off K Shearer. Johnson, a very well-known Speedway track driver. And he's going to hold off, trying to hold off one of our three-time winners this season in Matthew Daleo, right on his back bumper. And Daleo also, let's not forget, one of his 3 wins came at the season opening super speedway race of Daytona, so he knows how to find victory lane at a restrictor plate track. Oh wow, Zachariah Hall though going to be able to make the move to the inside of Matthew Daleo, and now Daleo is going to find himself getting freight trained a little bit here. Hall's going to get by. It looks like Joseph Romero. There's Angel Navarro there in the 25. Colin Denton. They're all lined up on that inside line. Daleo's gotten his way up here into the second position. We saw Benny Watson was making some forward progress. He hasn't really made it up here to the front, though. And it looks like he's starting to lose a bit of ground now as he's now losing a spot to N Guenther. And he was up just outside the top 15, it seemed. Now he's in the 21st position. I don't know if he's going to cross there or not. May have actually dropped back further than that. This time by, yeah, he lost 4 spots on that lap, back to 25th. There is Brooke Allen right now. I believe she's running in the 30th position. Yes, indeed she is. Officially, that's where she scored. I mean, there's still time. She's still in the draft. But you don't want to wait too long. Like I said, there's only 19 laps. There'll be total of 12 to go when we hit the stripe next time by. Got some stragglers back here too. That's J Cesar and Jeremy Jones, and then behind them there's a pack of 5 that have really lost touch with the group. Eric Heiden, J Qualls, A Stoudimere Jr, as well as Paul Minnick and Jonathan Zoerlein. All back here. So I don't rightly know what happened to these drivers that caused them to lose the draft, but they have lost it, and they may need a caution flag to be able to get them back into contention here. As Richard Johnson still showing the way. Matthew Daleo, we saw him on that high line. Well, he's found his way back to the inside line. He's got T Markel trying to push him to the front as Jeffrey Finguy now starts making a move here. Tried to take the second position going into 3. Zachariah Hall able to tuck down just in front of him to keep that spot. Jordan Lopez running right now in the 4th position, and squeezes just in front of a hard-charging Matthew Daleo, and Daleo now going to dive back to the inside once again. But all this going on behind Richard Johnson, just enjoying the view. We have 3 three-time winners this season, and we have 3 two-time winners this season. Those 2-time winners being Benny Watson, Nick Johnson, and James Qualls. Actually, no, make that 4 two-time winners. Add Chris Dollerton to that list. So Richard Johnson trying to add his name as well. Richard Johnson came into this race 14th in the point standings, which, technically speaking, is second highest of drivers that were not in the chase. The highest running non-chase driver in points, 13th in the standings, is Seth Cole in the 99. So Richard Johnson, that team has turned up the heat here in the closing stages of this season. They've been a formidable force, found victory lane at Lime Rock and trying to find it again here today. Right behind him, K Jazzin, 3-time winner of the season, looking for an unprecedented 4th win. K Jazzin, one of the wins came at Daytona when Jazzin won back-to-back-to-back races, something that's never been done here in the NNSCRA. Jazzin trying to make the move, can't do it. J Jefferson right there behind. Jefferson looking for his 2nd win of the season, winning a couple weeks ago at Michigan. I think it was Michigan. Was it Michigan or? Yeah, I think it was. I could check. Yes, it was. It was indeed Michigan International Speedway. Here comes Caitlin Tsang in the 07, and whenever we go to a super speedway, I keep remembering back. Caitlin Tsang ended up actually getting beat in a photo finish by the car that's actually pushing her up there to the front, and now is going to take it 3 wide, M Daleo. Tsang has been on the receiving end of 2nd places quite a bit this season. The most recent one to J Jefferson to but still, it is all Richard Johnson out in front, and these drivers from 2nd on back, they got to try working together if they're going to move him. He's done a good job of controlling the draft, bobbing and weaving from the high side to the low side, not allowing either line to really get a suck up on him and be able to make a move. You see right there when Jeffrey Finguy jumps high, Richard Johnson jumps low. That pulls Caitlin Tsang up alongside Jeffrey Finguy. I mean, a lot of this that's going on with this battling for 2nd is actually courtesy of the draft being offered by the race leader, Richard Johnson. And we're going to go 3 wide. It looks like Jordan Lopes going to stick it down there, and now thinks better of it. Tucks in behind M Daleo. We hit the line. There's 7 laps to go. Why don't we try and find out where our top 3 in the points are currently running? M Daleo right now is battling for the 3rd position, but what about Benny Watson and Brooke Allen? Where are they currently situated as things stand right now? Oh boy, they're all the way back here. That group is actually separated from the lead group. Brooke Allen leading this 2nd group. She scored in 27th. Benny Watson has scored back in 33rd. So this is not good for either one of them. I also saw John Andrews. There he is. He's back in 24th. So right now, things looking big time up with the driver of the 78, M Daleo there, to possibly head into the season finale at Auto Club with a rather big points lead, it would seem. Richard Johnson playing havoc there. Whoa! We almost were 4 wide back there with Jordan Lopes swinging wide. We are 4 wide, actually. J Jefferson, Chris Dollerton, Carter, and Jordan Lopes. They were all 4 wide there at the start-finish line for a moment. Settled it out. As Richard Johnson just continuing to show the way, and we have about 26 or so cars, actually making about 25 cars in this lead pack now, as it looks like William Brock is off the draft. Battle for the lead. K Jazzin with the slipstream slingshot move on the back straightaway, and will take the race lead out of turn number 4. Jazzin, as we mentioned, trying to become the first 4-time winner in the Almond Joy Series. Johnson trying to tuck back in line. Jeffrey Finguy going to have none of it. Here comes Tyler Markel looking to go 3 wide for 2nd. K Jazzin, 3 wins this season. One of them coming at Daytona International Speedway, trying to pick up Super Speedway win number 2 on the year. And they are getting really racy behind him. Tyler Markel has now moved into the 2nd position. Zachariah Hall trying to take 3rd from Richard Johnson. And Markel, I mean, from what I saw, it looked like K Jazzin made the move on Richard Johnson by himself, but I don't know if that 48's going to be able to do it. Keep in mind, Jazzin's won 3 times this season. Markel has yet to win. 19th in the point stand, so it hasn't been a terrible season for that 48 team. They just haven't been able to find victory lane. Today could be the day. Can Markel find a drafting partner to help push him by K Jazzin? Jefferson peeks out of line, and Markel doesn't go with him. That might have been the opportunity for Markel right there if he had dived down there, because K Tsang also decided to jump to the inside. So Tyler Markel passing up an opportunity there. And now J Jefferson becomes the second car behind K Jazzin that might try and make a move. Trying to maybe go for 2 wins in the past 3 weeks for that 28 machine. Gonna have some drafting partners there in K Tsang, Matthew Daleo, Zachariah Hall. There's Chris Dollerton. 2 wins this season, 1 coming at Bermuda, a super speedway. And I'm not sure, but I think I just saw a car exiting or entering into 3 when the cars were exiting 2. And that is Jonathan Zoerlein. I don't know, but they might catch before this race is over. It'll be 2 to go when they hit the strut. And are we gonna... Oh my goodness, pit stops are gonna come into play in this race. They're on pit road. Jazzin gives up the race lead. That turns the lead, I believe, over to Matthew Daleo. Benny Watson just made a pit stop. Grayson Acevedo had been on pit road. Was that Paul Minnick that I just saw? They're going to be coming up on here. Oh no, that's B Allan. So 2 of the drivers that came in top 3 in the points, Allen and Watson, pitted on the last lap. Daleo has stayed out. He'll get a bonus point for leading a lap. That's an important bonus point for the 78 as well. But look at this. Is anybody going to risk it, try and stay out? Because it's white flag this next time by. Is anyone going to try and risk it? Can anyone make it 4 more corners? Is Daleo going to stay out? Daleo's going to risk it, as are Finn Guy, Hall, Hagen, and Johnson. These guys are going to try it or run out of fuel trying, and this could be a risky maneuver here for Matthew Daleo. Finn Guy to the inside for the race lead here at Dega. Drivers leaving pit road there, keeping it to the apron. Finn Guy is cleared for the race lead. Oh no, if there's merging traffic, this could be very, very interesting. Here comes Zachariah Hall. Big shove from Richard Johnson. Hall doesn't make the move though. Oh, look out, wreck! Richard Johnson, Matthew Daleo just got taken out by emerging Cody Smart. Doesn't matter. We're racing back to the checkered flag. Finn Guy over Zachariah Hall. Finn Guy to the high side on Jordan Lopez. Hall won't be able to make a move. And Jeffrey Finn Guy will pick up win number 2 on the season after calamity on the final lap. Finn Guy wins at Talladega. And remember what I said, that might have been costly for Matthew Daleo staying out. Well, he just got taken out along with Richard Johnson on the final lap. Don't know if they kept going. I think they both still crossed in 4th and 5th. Still waiting for the scoring monitor to update. No, Matthew Daleo has not crossed the line yet. There you see the skid marks and the smoke lingering from that wreck. Oh my. Well, I said Dega was going to play a factor. I didn't know it was going to wait until the final lap to be a factor, though. Jazzin just passed Daleo, and I think Finn Guy and Hall and Hagen might be out of fuel. We're waiting for the official scoring results. I don't know where they're going to score Matthew Daleo at. Yeah, Hagen's out of fuel. And now the race is complete. And it looks like they're going to officially score Daleo in the 6th position, even though he wrecked on the last lap. Did Daleo even... Daleo never even crossed the line. There's K Shearer. I'm not so certain about this scoring. To be perfectly honest, I'm not so certain about this scoring. With Daleo being scored, he's being scored in 6th. I don't know about that. We're going to have to... I think NNSCRA officials will be looking at that to see if that's officially where he is going to get scored. boy. I think this will be the first time, too, that official scoring results will actually have to be looked at. Well, we're showing you your full finishing results right now. This is how they're officially scored at the moment. Doesn't mean that they are absolutely official. But before we end up going through your finishing results, why don't we take a look at a replay of what just happened on that last lap. And here it was. Watch the 22 there on that inside line on the apron. Cody Smart, our pole sitter. And I'm almost wondering if he might have actually gotten turned. Watch the 39 of Jesse Turner. They're off on the right side of the screen. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, yeah, Cody just comes up right into Jesse Turner. And there you see Richard Johnson, Matthew Daleo up into the wall. Johnson kept it going. Nice save by the 93 of Richard Johnson. So he was able to salvage I think it was a 4th place finish. And then coming into view here, there's Brooke Allen getting by. Benny Watson just barely gets by. And K Shearer nowhere to go. Just clobbers the 78 of Daleo. Now here is my questioning. 78 never gets back to the start-finish line. Finn Guy's on his way to take the checkered flag. I don't know if all those other drivers that had pitted and came around, if they would get those positions from Daleo or not. The fact that Daleo didn't cross the line makes it very interesting. Now, from what I can tell, I would think that maybe Daleo would keep the spot because K Jazzin passed him. Seems like there's like a scoring interval from the time the checkered flag comes out to the time that the scoring standings are official. And it would seem that the reason that the standings went official was because of the fact, well, you know, I think what's going to happen is more than likely NNSCRA officials are going to have to look back, see at the time that the race was official, we're going to have to see how many cars made it past the point where Matthew Daleo's car came to rest over in the turn 3, turn 4 vicinity. And more than likely, that's where we'll find out where he got scored. So, wow. Crazy, crazy stuff going on here in this Talladega race. No doubt about that. And could have huge implications on what the championship standings look like heading into our season finale next week at Auto Club. But Jeffrey Finguy will officially get the win. There's no doubt about that. Finguy won the race. Zachariah Hall will finish 2nd. Cody Hagen 3rd. Richard Johnson in 4th. K Jazzin 5th. That will all stay the same. The questioning is from 6th on down. Matthew Daleo is scored unofficially in the 6th position. Mitchell Carter 7th. Caitlin Tsang 8th. J Jefferson 9th. Chris Dollerton in the 10th position. And then you look on further down, you find Brooke Allen in 20th and Benny Watson in 21st position. But again, don't know where all of these drivers are actually going to be situated in terms of finishing results. It's like K Shearer's car didn't even actually officially finish out of the race as the standings went official, with both Daleo and Shearer sitting on the pit lane. But there you see it. And you see John Andrews finishing 39th here today. Nick Johnson finishing in 38th. Those are a number of drivers that really needed a good run to keep themselves in contention for the championship. So based on what it's looking like, and this is just from my unofficial calculations in my head, we could potentially have as many as 4 drivers be in the hunt for the championship next week, depending on where Daleo is going to be situated. I think would probably still be in the hunt, along with Brooke Allen and Benny Watson, and you might be able to add K Jazzin with that top 5 run, possibly mathematically still being eligible for the championship as well. But everybody else, I'm not so certain. Zachariah Hall was a long shot. Maybe that runner-up finish will keep him mathematically eligible. Maybe the same for Mitchell Carter, but they're kind of borderline. I think this may take John Andrews and Nick Johnson out of the championship hunt. James Qualls, Connor Breton, DJ Kurtis, they were all kind of too far back anyway. So right now it's looking like possibly there'll be only 4 drivers battling for the championship next week at Auto Club. But man, you think that this race has shaken things up. We have to determine who is going to move out of the Elite 8 into the Final 4 for the Hershey's Cup Series Championship at this very racetrack. and it's played a huge factor into today's chase standings. What is it going to do tomorrow in those chase standings? 4 drivers will move on to Auto Club, all tied with a chance to win the championship. Who are they going to be? We'll find out the same time that you do. But up next, you will see your official point standings and chase points here for the Almond Joy Series heading into Auto Club Speedway. If you enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you your full finisher results. Your points are up next, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Hershey's Cup Series penultimate race here at Talladega Super Speedway, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.